Tonight, WSMV has learned about a possible strike by school bus drivers in Middle Tennessee's second largest school district. Our Lydia Fielder is with us right now in studio here. That strike may only be days away.
That's right, Lauren. Rutherford County Schools expects some potential bus route disruptions or delays starting Thursday, May 1st. That's according to a statement from district spokesperson James Evans. He says staff and school board members have been meeting with bus contractors for the past several months. He says they've been talking about a pay increase, one that he calls realistic and manageable. But Evans says some contractors have, quote, demanded a 35% raise, which he called unprecedented, unrealistic, and says, quote, would affect the district's ability to offer some vital academic programs for students. At last week's school board meeting, Evans says the board approved a historic pay increase of 17% for bus contractors, with another 2.5% raise each of the next 3 years. They also approved $4,000 to cover insurance costs. He says some contractors have announced they plan to strike starting May 1st as a bargaining tactic, though Evans says contracted service providers don't have the legal right to strike and says the district would likely fire them if they do. Evans goes on to apologize to parents for any inconvenience and says, quote, it is unprofessional for some bus contractors to use your children as a bargaining tactic and does not meet the high expectations we have as a school district. Evans says schools will operate as normal. They'll excuse any absences that happen because of this, and they will provide updates through the process so families can plan. Jeremy.
Okay, Lydia, keep us posted. Thank you.